Hi, thank you so much. So, good morning, everyone. Like she mentioned, my name is Jessica Price. I will be facilitating you guys' the utility bill clinic. Now, as you guys see, I do have a NICRA gas bill. So, at the end, once I'm done presenting, if you guys have any questions, even during, if you have any questions, drop it in chat. If you want to wait until the end, that's completely fine. But yes, please, we want your questions. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So what I have up front on the screen is like I said, a NICRA gas utility bill. This is just going to be the basics. I do have another bill that I would like to show you for a lot of those customers that may have additional things that they pay for on their bill, but we're going to start here. So the first thing out, and by the way, this is on our website, this bill that I'm going over. So if you guys, I will put this in chat once I'm done, but understanding your bill is actually on our website. So the different bill features, we'll start with A. This is going to be your account summary. So you'll have your account number, your meter number, your service address, your bill period, and then your bill issue date. Now, these two are different. The bill period is going to be the number of days that you're being charged for, and it does have the exact dates on there. For example, this one, hopefully you guys can see this. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I hope that's a little better. So, for instance, this bill, shows that this customer is being charged between October 26th, it is an older one, 2015 to November 23rd, 2015. So they were charged for 28 days for this particular bill. Now, the day we sent the bill out is going to be the bill issue date. So this bill was sent out November 23rd, 2015. If the customer had a previous balance, regardless if it's a credit on there, where, for instance, this minus sign here, that means we owe you money. That's going to be the extra money that you have on your account, whether you overpaid or if you had assistance on your bill, that's going to be that credit. So we do actually put in parentheses that you have a credit. That was the previous balance in this instance. If you made a payment within these, within the bill period, that'll also be on there. Payment received, for instance, this one's November 17th, 2015 for $37. And then if they have a remaining balance, that'll be here. For this one, there's a credit. So although they paid $37, they didn't owe $37. So now they have a credit of $46.12. And then after the remaining balance is there, what comes after is going to be any new charges. Whenever you see utility, that's just going to be what NICRA gas is charging you. So new charges here for this month is going to be $36.42. Now, as far as the total amount due, as you see, they didn't owe anything. It is zero. And then once we subtracted their new charge from their credit balance, they still have a credit of $9.70. I know that is a ton of information just in this box, but it does give you an overview as far as what you have as far as on your account, what you're being charged for, and then a due date would technically be here as well if you actually owed anything. For this customer, they didn't owe anything, so we did not put a date on there. I hope that makes sense. If it does not, please remember to chat in as far as what your questions would be. But that is our account summary. Now, B, over to the right side, is a message for you. Now, this section, it can be a ton of different messages. So it is really important that you do read it because sometimes it is pertaining to your account specifically. For example, this one says, it's talking about the energy assistance. It's asking if you know anyone that, needs help paying their utility bill. If so, funds are available with our low income energy assistance program, which is LIHEAP. And we also give a contact number there. For this customer, there's also something regarding a budget plan which a budget plan is something that you can add on your account to help you save more money. As far as when a winter bill kicks in, if you want more information on that, you can definitely get it on our website, or you can put it in chat, or we can actually have someone contact you directly. Just put your contact information in chat. But the budget plan is great to have. So for this message, this is what we're telling the customer. We're telling them about LIHEAP and also about the monthly budget plan. Whenever the company is going through any changes, especially regarding your bill, that message will be here. You may also get an email if you're on our email listing, but we do put it on the bill. So any messages for you, we do put that in this section. See here is going to be the outline of charges. Sometimes this section can get a little confusing for customers, so we do break down what exactly you're being charged for and how much. For this customer, they are a residential heat customer. I don't know if any of you guys have businesses that you may have on service. We call those non-residential customers. So if you do have a business that you have on service, you'll just see non-residential. But this customer is a residential heat customer, which means they do pay for heat. We do have customers that do not pay for heat. So if you are a customer that just maybe pay for cooking gas, we'll have residential no heat on there, just to explain that. Delivery charges can be a list of things depending on where you live. But for the most part, this is the charge as far as, you know, us delivering the gas and what you're paying for. Now, we get a lot of questions in the contact center from customers, especially when they're not using gas. Those customers that may be landlords, maybe they turned off the gas, but their account is still active. We do charge for the account being active, even if you request to turn off the gas. That's going to be your monthly customer charge. So even if you're not using gas, that charge is still on your bill if your account is active. So on this one here, and this is, I apologize, it is a few years ago. Our monthly customer charge is more than $13 now. I believe it's 17. I believe it's over 17, but that's just from your account being open. So that's going to be the monthly customer charge there. Then after that, we go into the therms that you use. For this customer, it looks like they use 58.93 therms, and we'll talk about that again over here. But and then we charge them, looks like 4.85 cents. So just for those 58.93 therms, they were charged $2.86. And then the environmental cost recovery, looks like there was a credit added to their bill of 4 cents there. Franchise cost adjustment, and a lot of customers don't know what these different charges are, so I will briefly go over that after we get done with this section. The efficiency program, every customer does pay into that, so it's definitely something you want to take advantage of. And the qualified infrastructure charge. Now, this question comes up also for a lot of customers. Why am I being charged this infrastructure charge twice? Well, you're not technically being charged twice. What happens is if your billing cycle, like for instance, this customer is in 28 days. However, it was in October and November, so it's 2 different months. That qualified infrastructure charge can change from month to month. It may be less for one month, it may be a little bit more for another. So if the charges are different, we do have to put it on the bill twice. One for each month. So for instance, this first one's going to be for October. It was $3.28 at 3.54%. So there was 12 cents there. And then for November, it was a different charge. So if you ever see that infrastructure charge on there twice, double check your bill period, because more than likely you were billed for not two different months, but your billing cycle was in 2 different months. It wasn't 60 days, but it started at the end of one month and it ended towards the end of another month. So just double check that. What's also in C is going to be the natural gas costs. Now, this is only for those customers who buy their gas through Nicor Gas. If you have a third-party supplier, which we'll talk about in a little bit, what that would look like on your bill, you wouldn't see a natural gas cost in this C section. It would actually be another section of the bill. But if you are buying gas from Nicor Gas, it will say natural gas cost. It does tell you how, it does list it twice if you are in 2 different months, but this time it does tell you the month. So for instance, this one is for October. There was 12.63 therms used, and for the month of October, it was 33 cents per therm. So for October, this customer would have paid $4.17. And then for November, as you see, the costs change. So we did have to list that twice. For November, it was 46.30 therms used, and the cost per therm was cheaper, so it was at 30 cents per therm. So for November, they paid $13.89. So when we add that together, for this billing period, it was $18.06. After the natural gas costs, you'll see taxes. There's a utility fund tax there, and then a state revenue tax. Those are added together for you, but we do break it down. So whenever you're being charged taxes, you will know how much you're being charged for which tax. And then you have a total at the end. So C also gives a ton of information as well, but it does break it down for you. Now, as far as the delivery charges goes, the different, like the environmental cost recovery, franchise cost adjustment, this website is going to be great because at the end, towards the end, as far as the delivery charges, we do break down what those are, what the distribution charges are, the environment recovery costs, or I'm sorry, environmental recovery costs, the franchise costs, the governmental agency adjustment. Like there are a ton of different ones that you may see on your bill. This website's going to break that down for you. Now over D, which is the energy profile, this is going to also give you some information regarding your therm use. This first box over here, it does give you the current reading. That current reading tells you what we are billing you for this billing period. So for this customer, looks like it was, the reading was 82, and this is a reading, not the number of therms, it's just the reading. This word right here in parentheses, it says estimate. It'll either say estimate or actual. If we have to estimate your bill, which with our AMI devices now, we are providing more and more customers actual reads every month. But if you happen to get an estimated read for 1 month, it would show in your monthly energy profile what that current read is. And it also tells you what the previous read is. So for last month, this customer had an actual read, and the reading was 25. So what it does is it gives the usage for the cubic feet, which was 57. We multiply that by the BTU factor, which is 1.034, which it does break it down right here, that we multiply that cubic feet of gas by the BTU, and that actually gives us our number of therms. So the number of therms for this customer for this billing period was 5.93. So that way the customer knows how many therms they use for that billing period. Now we do also give an average daily therm amount. We compare it versus last year. So in this bill, we're in 2015. This is a 2015 year. So it compares last year's. So the average daily therm for this period was 2.83, or for last year, I apologize. And then an average daily therm for 2015 is going to be, I believe, 2.9. It's a little small. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Oh, nope, 2.10. So they actually use less this year than they did last year as far as an average daily amount of therms. Now, underneath there is going to be the monthly therm usage, and it's shown month to month, and it's 4 years. So you see last November's all the way up until this November for this particular customer. On your bill, you would see it it'll be a year from whichever month that bill is in. The current month will highlight green. It's the only color that it comes up. There wouldn't be a red bar. It would just be green for that current month. The average temperature is shown there as far as what the average temperature is for your area or for the month. So this month says the average temperature was 49 degrees, just so the customer knows what the average is, and you can compare it to last year. If you look last year, it looks like the average was 37 degrees. Underneath there, it's going to be the natural gas cost. So this is where you can see what Nicor Gas is charging per therm. Now, if you have a third-party supplier, which is you buying your gas someplace else, which you absolutely can, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, this is where you can compare it. If they say, well, we can give you a rate of, I don't know, 25 cents per therm, you can look at your Nicor gas bill to see what you have been paying per therm. They say 25 cents this month was 30, previous was 33, it was 35. So you can make a good judgment as far as what is needed for your family in regards to selecting different suppliers. But this chart here is definitely going to be great if you ever wanted to know, well, what does Nicor Gas charge per therm? This chart is going to be great. Now, after that, of course, you have your payment stub. If you did want to mail in your payment, you absolutely can. On this payment stub, I just wanted to point out that it is going to give you a brief overview of what you should be sending in if you are going to be sending in a payment. For instance, this customer, we told them that they didn't owe a balance here. So on the payment stub, we also shows that due to your balance, zero will be withdrawn from your account. Looks like this customer is actually an auto pay customer. So we do let the customer know how much we would be withdrawing if they are on auto pay, which it is an option, definitely is. Now that's just the overview of the bill. If you are a customer, or not if you are a customer, because you absolutely are a customer of Nicor Gas, but if you are buying gas from Nicor Gas, you'll see that natural gas cost. Now, I just want to point out for those customers that may have a third-party supplier, what your bill would look like. And then I also want to show you what your bill would look like if it was for more than 1 month, because these are questions that do come up from customers. So this bill here, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. This bill is for a customer that had more than 1 month, and then they also have a third-party supplier. Now, like we mentioned on the other page, or the other bill that I showed you that's on the website, you still have your account summary where you have your account number, your meter number, your service address for those customers that may have more than one property. You can see that service address because you may have your bills going to one specific address. Always search the service address just so you know which account you're looking at. But after that, the bill period does come, but this one is more than 1 day. So let's say you got a bill and this bill was higher than usual. Like, I don't understand this. First thing you want to check, is it for more than 1 month? Because we do get a ton of questions where a customer is like, well, I don't understand how it's this high for 1 month. If you check the bill period, it will actually tell you, okay, this is more than 1 month. Like, for instance, this customer, this bill is for 125 days. Now, 9 times out of 10, we needed to go back to correct some meter reading. Maybe we estimated on a lot of months and we finally got an actual read for that customer. So that does happen where we do have to go and rebill, cancel the previous bill, especially if it's incorrect, and then rebill the customer. On that bill, we will tell you how many days you're being charged for. Now, we talked about if the customer has a previous balance, if they sent in a payment, what the remaining balance is, which this customer was current, so there wasn't a remaining balance after they paid their bill. We talked about new charges, but we did not talk about additional products and services. So anytime you are paying a third party company, let's say it's for gas or maybe it's for warranties, because there is a company that does show up on your NICRA gas bill, but it's for your warranty, maybe for the gas lines in your home, or maybe you have some warranties on your natural gas appliances. Their charges will show up here as well, but it will be additional products and services. So for this customer, what they're paying NICRA gas, which is the utility, is $251.06, but the third party for the additional products and services is going to be $185. So here we have a total amount due, which there is a due date. This is a more current bill. So it looks like March 12th of 2020, and the total was $436.06. Now, because it was for multiple months for this customer, when we go to the next section for their delivery charges, you may see delivery charges in multiple sections. So for here, this delivery charge was from October to November. This delivery charge over here was from November to January. So it does break it down as far as month to month. Here you still have your message for you. This message is talking about the NICRA gas customer information packet and those rules that may be in there. But this customer, because they are paying a third-party supplier, it also gives them who their supplier is. It says your customer select supplier is Just Energy. For questions related to your natural gas costs, contact your supplier at this phone number. And a lot of customers don't know that their supplier phone number is actually on their bill, and who they are is on the bill. Now, if it's regarding, natural gas safety, of course, call NICRA Gas. You do want to call us for that, and we also list our phone number in that message for you as well. So we're going to scroll on down. There's one more part that I want to show you guys, and that's going to be the additional products and services, because this is where you find out how much you're being charged from your third-party supplier if you have one. Now, additional products and services is not solely third-party suppliers. Like I mentioned, it could be that you have a warranty. If you do have a third-party supplier and a warranty, everything will be listed under additional products and services. They'll just be in a separate, like a separate section. So let's say, for instance, if this customer did have a warranty also, it would just be another section here with that company's information as far as how much they're being charged for the previous month, or if they had a balance, what their current balance is, what the new charges are, and when and how much is due. So this customer doesn't have a third-party they don't have a third-party warranty, but they do have they're paying gas to a different company, and it's going to be it was Just Energy, but this just says Test Energy. So it says their customer select supplier previous balance was $3.50. The amount that they paid was $3.50, and now their new charges is $185, and it tells them how much is due, $185. And then it also has, if you have Test Energy questions, please call here. So it does still give you your third-party supplier's name and phone number if you do have questions regarding how much they're charging you. Now, you can, of course, call NICRA Gas and, ask about the charges, but there is only so much that we will be able to help as far as the charges, because they're coming from a third-party supplier. We can go over meter reading. We can definitely go over delivery charges, but when it comes to the third-party charges, that is a conversation that you would have to have with that company. But if you're unsure, of course, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to go over what we can as far as the bill. Now, this customer still has a monthly energy profile, but it breaks it down as far as the meter reading. Here is one that was estimate. The current is actual. That previous one was actual. but once we got the current read, that one was an actual as well. So it does tell you which read is which, so you don't have to guess. And the same thing for the monthly therm use. We still have the average temperatures, and we have the amount per therm that we're charging the customer per month. All right. On the back of the bill, I just want to stress, because a lot of customers don't know, you don't just have to go to the website to find out what those different charges are. It's actually right on the back of your bill. So it goes over the Illinois Commerce Commission and what their customer service number is, goes over how to read your meter, if you're smelling gas, what to do. It goes over the different taxes that you may see on your bill. It goes over all the definitions as far as what wording you may find on a bill. Delivery charges, it goes over each and every one of those. So you don't have to just go to the website to get this information. It's actually right on the back of your Nicor gas bill. Let's say you are a paperless customer and you view your bills online. That's completely fine. You're already online. You can go online to view it. Or if you'd like to view the PDF of your bill, it would still it would still show you the back of the bill. Like, this is a PDF form that I'm looking at. It still gives me the back of the bill here. You may have to zoom in a little bit, but it does give you all that information. And then, of course, for this customer, the payment stub, it does show how much is due and then your due date. All right, so we have a few minutes for questions. I most definitely want to answer questions. I heard some chat going off. Let me see if I can view the chat. Do we have any
Yes, please.
Questions in chat? Yes.
So, how can you sign up or learn about the bill payment plans?
That is a great question. So an easy way for you to find out is online. Our website has been redesigned. I believe we redesigned it in February this year. So it's a little bit more user friendly. So if you go to our website, I'm sorry if you guys hear my baby. You go to our website, you can click on pay my bill. Say you do want to pay your bill. It redirects you and gives you options on how you can. I don't know why it's not going there. There we go. If you have an online account, that's great. If you're new to it, you can register here. But if you just wanted to know more about it, of course, you can give us a call, but you can also view it on our website. I was trying to pull it up, because we have so many. I strongly suggest going to the website, because if you just scroll down on the residential section, it gives you different information. So it gives you a ton of information. So definitely the website. You can also search for it, what you're looking for. That's probably going to be the easiest thing, but that's going to be the fastest and easiest way to find out the different options you have as far as, paying your bill. Did I answer your question? I want to make sure I answered it.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, one other question. And if you have any questions, please enter them in the chat. If you have any sort of questions or disputes about a bill, who should you contact?
That's a great question as well. So it all depends. If you're not sure who to contact and it's about your Nicor gas bill, call Nicor Gas. Call us. That way we can actually take a look at your bill and we can tell you, okay, well, this is about a third-party charge. What you would need to do is contact, this supplier, contact your supplier. You may not need to. It may be a charge from Nicor Gas, so give us a call. And the thing of it is, if let's say you don't want to call, maybe you'd rather chat. We have a chat feature online. Now, the thing with chat is you do have to be registered for My Account, which is our online feature. You do absolutely have to be registered. But let's say you don't want to register, send us an email. You can absolutely do that. And you don't need to have a My Account to send us an email. You can do it right online. I hope I answered your question.
What information does a customer need in order to ask questions about their bills?
As long as you, let's say you know your address, I know you know your name, and maybe a phone number that's on the account, because some customers don't know their account number. Maybe you're riding in your car and you just want to, you have time to give Nitro Gas a call. I do that all the time with companies. You don't necessarily have to have your Nitro Gas account number to give us a call. It's just basic information about yourself. And we use that just to verify that we are actually talking to you. That's really the only reason why we need to just have basic information about you. But that's really it. And you can give us a call and ask questions about your account anytime. As far as, okay, I won't say anytime. We're not 24 hours, but between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. And then you can send emails anytime. That you can do.
If my account is in a different person's name, or say I'm calling on behalf of my mother or something like that, can I still call and ask questions about their bills? What do I need to make those questions?
That's an excellent question, and customers do ask that a lot. So if, let's say, you're going to be the one that's always calling in regarding an account, we ask that you first off have the account holder give us a call so we can add you as a third party, which means you're not financially responsible. Now, if it is your account and you want to be financially responsible, then we do need to talk to both of you just to make sure you're both okay with being on the account together. But you don't have to be on the call if they're just calling to add you as a third party. We can give out information. You just wouldn't be able to, let's say, make financial decisions like payment arrangements and things like that. But we can give you any information on the account. I strongly suggest being a third party. Now, if you're only calling once, like this isn't going to be an all the time thing, we just need to talk to the customer and say, hey, I do give so-and-so permission to, talk on behalf of me for this one time. That's completely fine. But if you're going to be constantly doing it, it's best to get added as a third party. So that way you can give, your name and just say like, hey, I just need to make sure this bill was paid, or I need to change the mailing address, or whatever have you. Just get added as a third party if this is going to be a constant thing for you. Great question.
All right, we still have about 10 more minutes before the session is over. So does anyone else have any other questions? Please enter them in the chat. Otherwise, I will still be making up questions.
Yes, please. And if you guys, let's say, I know that a lot of the sessions you were able to schedule time. Let's say you would like to talk to someone one-on-one about your bill. Put your contact information in or your email address, and we can get back to you so someone can go over your specific bill. We don't want to put anyone on the spot, and we don't want to share your information online. But if you would like to have someone go over your bill, maybe you don't feel comfortable calling, put your contact info as far as your email address, and we can reach out. We can get someone to reach out. Or if you just want to, say like, I would like to set up something, just say something in chat and we'll private chat you. That way your email address is not showing to everybody.
So for every message for you on the bills, are those customized to the customer, or what other types of messages are typically on those boxes?
That's a good question. So those messages, it can be general, like let's say this particular municipality, I don't know, maybe we're relocating the lines or something. I'm just making that up. But all of those customers in that municipality will have that message. So it wouldn't go to every single Nitro Gas customer. Sometimes they are for certain municipalities. Sometimes it could just be a message for you. Like it could just be about your account. For instance, a message that's common for customers specifically, we show that you had 2 estimated bills in a row. Please give us a call. I'm paraphrasing, but let's say you had 2 estimated bills, we put that message up there for you. If you saw the previous bill with the third party, that was specifically to that customer. They had Just Energy. So sometimes you will get messages that are pertaining to your account. Sometimes they're general for just a municipality, and sometimes it may just be a message for all of our Nicor Gas customers, but you never know. So it's really important to pay attention to those messages. Sometimes the calls that we get within the call center regarding a bill is actually in that message for you versus, sitting on hold. So definitely read it because it could be pertaining to just your account.
Does Nicor Gas pay interest on surplus accumulated in budget plans? I recall at one time it was a competitive rate.
That's a great question. So the answer to that is no, but there is a yes. So if you are on the budget plan, because that budget plan, we are giving you an amount as far as what we want you to pay, regardless of what your actual usage was. For instance, usually in the winter, the budget plan is a little bit, actually, it can be a lot cheaper than what the actual usage is. Sometimes, let's say, as an example, the November bill, budget plan was $100, but the actual usage was $150. I'm just throwing numbers out there because it was not that cold. Let's say you pay $120. Your actual usage was $150. So if you were to get off that budget plan, you would still owe $30. However, being on the budget plan, you have a credit of $20. So with being on a budget plan, you would not get interest on being on a budget plan. But let's say if you paid $100, your budget plan was $50 and your actual usage was $20, you do actually have a credit, but you would have to unenroll from the budget to get the accumulated interest, if that makes sense. Because we don't want to pay interest on a credit that's actually not a credit. You have a credit on the budget because you paid the $120 and we only asked for $100, but your actual usage was $150. So you do still owe Nicor Gas $30 if you were to close your account or get off the budget plan. I hope that makes a little sense. So you overpaid your budget, but you didn't overpay the actual usage, is what I'm saying. So if you're on the budget, you will not get accumulated interest. But if you were not on a budget and you still had a credit on your account, that's when Nicor Gas would have to pay interest on
there. When and how does Nicor determine budget plan amounts?
Well, the budget plan is based on a few factors. It's going to be, first off, what the average usage is for that property, for that one. If you're just moving in, it is going to average whoever was living there before you. That could be more than what your house code will have, or it could be less. It also factors in what the average temperature is. And there's one more thing it factors in. It's on the tip of my tongue. I will tell you this. It does not factor in what you pay. Your payment history does not factor in the budget plan. And a good thing about the budget plan, if you ever wanted to increase it, you absolutely can. I've had calls when I was in a contact center where customers would want to, you know what, I just want to pay $100 a month, even though the budget plan is saying like $45. But the good thing is, let's say if you move into a new place and you want to get on a budget, but it's going to average in, last year's usage with whoever was living there. Every 4 months, the budget plan does reevaluate itself. So let's say you were overpaying for your usage, and now it's going to factor in your actual usage now that you're living there. It's going to reevaluate it. If the budget plan is too high for what your actual usage is and you're constantly building up a credit, after the 4 months, it's going to lower your budget plan. It absolutely will, because it's trying to honestly get you to a zero balance. It don't want you to go over too much in credit, and it doesn't want you to owe too much as far as your actual usage. So it's designed to get you to zero, you owing nothing. If you're trying to build up a credit, then you can absolutely pay over your budget, but that's just how it determines what the budget plan is, and it can be wrong, so it does reevaluate every 4 months. If it says when you first sign up that it's going to be $45 a month, that's not for the entire year. That's a guarantee for 4 months. Once it reevaluates in the 4 months, it does depend on what your actual usage is. And if you have a credit, it could go lower, it could go a little higher. Good thing about the budget is it's never going to just dramatically jump up. Like, let's say you have a budget for 45, but your bills have been 120, 150, and it's in the winter months. It's not going to just jump up to $100 a month. It may increase to 70 just to try to get that owing balance off. We're not going to ask you to pay the 150, but we are changing your budget to 70 so that way we can pay off that balance. And that's why the budget plan is so great. You don't have to worry about paying the entire bill, especially in the winter months, if it is over. Now, in the summer months, the budget is over your actual usage for the most part, but it's usually trying to build up some type of credit for the winter months because it knows it's gonna use that. But that is a great question. It's determined on a few factors, never on your payments, but as far as average usage and temperature wise, it does. And it reevaluates every 4 months.
All right, in the last couple of minutes, let's get one more question in. Let's say I got my bill and it's just too expensive for me right now, all the stuff happening, and I just can't pay it, or I might need assistance. Where can I go to learn about assistance options?
That's a great question. So, of course, you can go on our website. You can just type in energy assistance. You can give us a call. You can chat it. But let's say this customer doesn't necessarily need energy assistance. They just need help for this one bill. We do have payment arrangements available. And right now there isn't any money down, I believe, just, because of, this year with COVID. But I strongly suggest, looking into exactly what you need help with. If you know you won't be able to pay for a few months and you need some actual energy assistance, you can type that in the website, energy assistance. We actually have a session for that today if you wanted to find out more about that, but there are a ton of options out there. So if you want to call and ask, you can do that. If you want to send an email or chat, or even just go to the website and look up to see what best fits you, that would be your best option. It really would. That's a great question though. Did I answer the question? I want to make sure I did.
Yeah, I think so.
I give a ton of information.
All right, so I think that wraps up this session for today. Thank you guys so much again for attending. Our next sessions will start around 11:45, so feel free to go back to the hub, get a drink, just get ready for the next sessions, and we hope you enjoy the forum.
Yes, thank you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend.